Now, going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have Rachel Maddow worried that Trump will put her into a camp, and not a feminization camp. I don't think it's going to teach her how to, cook or dress or, give her some fashion advice, which I'd say she probably could desperately use. But she's worried she should be put into a camp somehow, which it's Rachel Maddow. I mean, take everything she says with a drop of salt. Well, not a drop, more like a metric ton, because she's about as right as Jim Cramer is when it comes to stocks. Yeah, never. Although, both bombastic personalities. I'd say she's a lot more irrational, which is saying something. But, yep, she's off the rocker once again. Now, this is first brought to us thanks to Colin Rugg over at X Twitter. And Colin said, quote, "New conspiracy theorist Rachel Maddow says she's worried that Donald Trump will put her in camps intended for illegal immigrants. LMFAO. The Russian hoaxer told CNN that Trump is planning to build camps that will hold millions of people." And he says, here's Maddow crying about the border crisis when Trump was in office. She has nothing to say about the current Biden border crisis, of course. And this is the part of the show where I usually say the voice is infinitely better than mine. Granted, the bar is pretty low, but like 39 seconds, I can't help but venture to say, I think my voice is just is better than hers. But nevertheless, we'll still listen to what she has to say or cry. Without too much further ado, and I apologize for the eye strain, because again, the view is not the best for her or I, but nevertheless, let's see what she attempts to say.
Trump administration officials have been sending babies and other young children. Oh, hold on. To at least 3. Can we put up the graphic of this? Thank you. Do we have it? No. 3 tender age shelters in South Texas. Lawyers and medical providers. Just, I think I'm going to have to hand this off. Yeah. Sorry. That does it for us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow.
As emotionally intelligent and intellectually as intelligent as a child, Rachel Maddow crying. Or maybe she's just really good at acting. Oh, it's even not that great acting because I don't see any visual tears on there. But yeah, struggling to talk about that when I can understand if you're covering a really emotionally charged topic like a child dying, or there are instances where there are very sad stories that might elicit an emotional response. But yeah, talking about people who broke the law and they're being sent back home, fascinating that, again, I don't know if she's just pretending, but yeah, it's just too much for her to comprehend. Now, What Pretty Pal got 900,000 views and 8.6 thousand likes. Yeah, she's saying, worried about, anyone in power. And she says also, quote, "I'm worried about the country broadly if we put someone in power who is openly avowing that he plans to build camps to hold millions of people and root out illegal immigrants. For that matter, what convinces you that these massive camps he's planning are only for migrants? So yes, I'm worried about me, but I'm as much worried about all of us." Is she, though? Now, one of the first comments comes from Paul Zupa saying, quote, "The media is both projecting and panicking at the same time. Biden is who's been locking up political opposition in jail for decades, and now he's going to lose because of the other reasons. Maddow will just be fine. She's rich," unquote. Got 193 likes. Art Candy, our favorite contrarian, well, not really favorite, but appreciate different perspectives because it makes life a little bit more interesting, and echo chambers could get a little bit boring. Now, Art Candy, who, again, I don't want to diss her intellect, but her name is Art Candy, spelled Candee. Almost as if she has a profession of an exotic pejorative dancer, but she also has a picture of popcorn, and it looks like water in a cup with a straw, which I don't know what kind of psychopath drinks water from a straw in a cup, but she doesn't even have candy emojis, and those are available. I may not be an emoji aficionado, but I know they exist. Now, she does say, and again, in terms of her background, let's see, she's a verified account, got 32,000 followers. She is dubbed as a liberal pundit, and she says that in her description. And again, I do agree with her. She's in the fact that she says the country is doomed if we don't communicate. So again, I can appreciate her having that type of perspective because, again, that's what I think our country really could benefit from more, which is why I think X Twitter is worth paying for. It's one of the only social media platform actually paid to have like an authorized or blue check mark. Not to brag, but that means I do have $7 a month to spend on social media. Humble brag. But in our getting back to the meat and bones here, so to say, Art Candy says, "Where exactly do you think Trump will put them before they're deported? Will he let them stay in their homes and pick them up and drive them to the airport?" What is that? The eye roll emoji. And she did get 27 likes. Now, of course, if Trump were to hear about her, he'd probably maybe saying something in this effect of, I don't care about, I don't get our candy, she's got barely any likes. She got 27 likes. In fact, I've seen Topping get 28 once. I swear, it was huge. Lots of likes. Magnificent. Granted, it's probably the worst Trump impression you hear all year, but you did hear it here, and hopefully it made you laugh a little bit. Now, she got 36 people to respond. I wonder if she was ratioed. Not by likes, but let's see. Biley Bites Lib says, if you're not an illegal immigrant, then you have nothing to worry about. I got 1 like. Mr. Will says, what's your address? We'll send them there. Cassie Green says, he says they'll go directly out. He's not saying he's wasting money on hosting them, getting 1 like. So it looks like, though she's not ratioed by number of likes, the number of comments, let's see here, are mostly against her. Here. Going down more and more. We have Sassafras84 saying, well, isn't this rich? They're mass projecting. Remember when AOC and Hillary Clinton called for re-education camps for Trump supporters' children? I remember that. I can even pull up the video. They wanted to deprogram anyone who supported Trump. Anyway, here it is. This video got 1.1 thousand likes. Let's see. Heather007 says, while Rachel Maddow is having a meltdown, does forget this? This is Hillary Clinton. I was going to say, as wise as she is beautiful, and I should, for the record, say, I want to live a long, prosperous life. I don't want to prematurely end it. Just throwing it out there. Usually I say their voices are infinitely better and more eloquent than mine, but in this case, it's just a voice.
And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? You know, because at some point, you know, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
And how do you do that? Because you said you have to defeat them by defeating their leader. Their leader
Right.
is Donald Trump. Even you have said that you expect him to be the Republican nominee. How does this change at all?
At this point, I think, sadly, he will still. And sadly,
Hillary Clinton. Totally not corrupt, evil, totally didn't, destroy all the emails on her server and the cell phones and made up the whole Russia with the Steele dossier and only paid a small little fine, got slapped on the wrist. I totally coincidence that she has the highest disproportional rate of people around her who just commit suicide. I think it was 28 people last time I checked. And again, just coincidence, I'm sure. Again, just for the record, I love life and intend to live to the fullest for many, many years and never end the game prematurely, so to say. Throwing it out there. Now that video clip of Hillary Clinton got 333 likes. Interesting. Half of something. Fascinating coincidence. Nevertheless, scrolling down more and more, you have Merch saying she's a joke, and it says Rachel Maddow says MSNBC doesn't broadcast things that are untrue. Aha, I got 263 likes. Scrolling down more and more. Junita Broderick says she's so weak and dumb as dirt, it won't happen, but I wish it would. Got 1,000 likes. Which, again, I don't think you should never wish for anyone to go to those re-education camps, even if you don't agree with them. So I definitely don't agree with Julia Broderick in the fact that, we wish you could send them to re-education camps. Now, saying she's weak and dumb as dirt, that's an insult to dirt. Dirt is actually pretty expensive, and many dirt, if you go to somewhere like a Home Depot or Lowe's, is actually filled with many nutrients. So you could actually conceivably argue that a bag of dirt is actually worth more than Rachel Maddow. Not an out of this realm possibility. So, again, don't disrespect dirt that way. But nevertheless, scrolling down more and more, you have Gizmo saying, first AOC, now Maddow, is clearly a Democratic strategy orchestrated talking point, getting 163 likes. Florida 1 says, it's funny how she doesn't look back at the lies of 1, the pandemic scare narrative, Russiagate, Hillary spying, Hunter laptop, 51 intelligence people saying that Russia, etc. She seems to not want to remember her role in any of this, getting 175 likes, which, yeah, you should probably acknowledge it. And again, every news outlet, everyone makes mistakes. I mean, I had a covering earlier this week where I talked about how Biden appeared to defecate himself at a D-Day celebration, or commemoration, rather. And the next day, I found there was actually an extended clip where he was making that awkward squatting before he sat down. That being said, his facial expressions still looked as if he were defecating himself. But again, the next day, I had a video where I said, hey, I found this new clip. This was just brought to my attention. Here's the fully extended clip. And this is why some people are saying maybe he didn't relieve himself on national TV yet again. So again, everyone makes mistakes. We're mostly human, although some might argue some people have the personalities of a robot, but nevertheless. Sherry also says, so these are the talking points that MSN was given. We all know they have meeting to review the daily propaganda, getting 122 likes. So looks like, yeah, Miss Maddow is mostly, as you might say, ratio. Now, I'll do one more. Mike Sasparilla says she has 20,000 viewers on MSNBC. She's not that important. Getting 193 likes, which, yeah, it's all about personal goals. I haven't gotten that many yet. I was going to say, if you're taking the time to review this video, though, I especially appreciate it. And if you could like it, take 1/1000th of a second to click that button. It'd make my day. Or vote down and tell me why in the comments. So I'll be interested to see Miss Maddow so worried about, basically nothing. But will it become a good move on the political chessboard? Will that be a new talking point that could hurt Trump in the polls? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.